I can't believe what I'm hearing and reading on social media that there's some people talking about Rick Tocchet. Like the Canucks should move on from him, and he's not doing a good job. If you're in the National Hockey League,
no,
you're living out. And okay, the flu aside for a second, if you don't mind, if you're living out a dream life, and you want to keep that as long as you can.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but it's up to the head coach. It's up to the players. Not the coach, head coach, the assistant to get the team jacked up. You have to be emotionally invested in yourself. They get paid a lot of money. You want to keep that job.
They get paid a lot of money to be ready. We don't get anywhere near the money they get. Nobody jacks us up for the show. We do it ourselves, Don.
Well, how many Newt Rockne type? By the way, Ryan had no idea who Newt Rockne was.
Newt Rockne is one of the greatest football coaches of all time.
Legendary Notre Dame coach. Do you need a speech like that before every game?
No.
I just don't think so. And again, maybe I'm off base. Maybe I'm just old school. Actually, old school would be you need the speech. I think it's up to the players to be ready from the opening faceoff. Now, there are things a coach can do, like depending on who you're going to start, who your starting roster is, your starting lineup is, that sort of thing. But ultimately, I just think it comes down to the players to be ready each and every single game, and that just doesn't happen. The Canucks have played 5 games in this homestand. 3 of them have included brutal starts.
17-2.
One of the brutal starts was against Columbus in a game they won. It just is happening time and time again.
Okay, he's the coach of the year, the reigning coach of the year in the NHL. Yeah. Last time I checked, this hockey club is not the exact same team that took the Oilers to 7 games. 10 UFAs last year, so you re-signed a few. You let a few walk. You had some July 1 bad signings. Is it Tocchet's fault? Desharnais, Sprong, some other guys that in July 1st haven't worked out? And here's another one for you.
But they weren't on the ice on Saturday, Rick.
Don, this isn't the same team as Edmonton. They took 7 games. And here's another one for you. Look at the third pair. Friedman and Brandstrom were -5 against Boston. The 1 goal, Brandstrom went behind the net. Friedman at center, pinch, got busted. That's not a third pair National Hockey League.
But you could argue that Derek Forbort wasn't there. Normally he'd be on that pairing. Which they've had to deal with all season.
You can also argue they healthy scratched a guy they paid $2 million to on July 1st.
So
is that Tocchet's fault?
I love this because you go out
of your... Is that Tocchet's fault? Is that Tocchet's fault?
No. Okay, I love this because
Why?
You go out of your way to defend Patrick Alvin and Jim Rutherford.
I do not.
Now what I'm hearing is that they've made major mistakes in the offseason.
They did. Maybe don't.
And they're to blame for what's happening for the Canucks right now. More than the players, more than the coaches.
Donnie,
I don't disagree with you.
When you have 10 UFAs, and you should never have 10 UFAs. Never. If you have 3 or 4 UFAs, that's fine. That's okay. When you have 10, this is what happens. You bring in 6, 7 new guys, and some of them don't work out. And guess what? This is where we are.
So on the record, you're blaming management for what's happening.
I'm saying
right
that
now.
It's not all on Tocchet. You got to look at the way that the team was structured, Don. I mean, it's not the same blue line. It's not a surprise they're out there looking for defensemen, and they should be. Don, it's not the same blue line as last year.